All right, so we're going to install this Mictuning controller here and underglow lights. That's what we're working on now. I found a place for it. Use some double-sided tape, put it right there. It's a good place out of the way. And then this got the battery attachment. It's got an inline fuse as well right out here. Got all the wiring. Then it connects to the main controller coming around. You kind of see them right there. So it's going to connect there, connect here. Just goes in a loop. This shouldn't be too bad. It's just the mounting part is the hard part, but getting the wiring all set up and ran is the next part. So let's get the wiring ran and connected. Let's start working on it. All right, so we got our mounting point. We've got the first wire hooked up here, and it's running along and underneath there. And it comes down. It's over here. So yeah, they're already mounted with self-tapping screws. There's two of them, interestingly enough, so that should get pretty bright. All right, so there, that's done. And then we got to just figure out where this wire is going to run to, but I think I'm going to need an extension to reach over that far. They go pretty far down, but luckily I do have one extension cord, which I thought I would need, which is probably what's going to have to happen here. Probably gonna have to run that in between there to get it way over to here. Definitely think it's not gonna make it. Alrighty, here we are. So afterglow or underglow is ready. I just pushed the button. All right, here we are. We've got the Mictuning underglow controller here. In their instructions, they tell you to hook this up straight to the battery. I come to find out that's a really bad idea. I put the neutral to the neutral side of the battery, that's fine. But if you put the red hot to the hot, it does a vampiric draw on a battery, and it kills your battery overnight every time. So I went ahead and moved it. I spliced it off from the fuse, brought it into my car fuse, and used a fuse connector here, and a connector, put it right into a fuse. And that little connector looks like this. So you put two fuses in, and that goes into your fuse, and then you just use a connector to connect the wires together, and that's how I did that. And that eliminated vampiric draw. So as soon as you turn the ignition switch, everything will come on, because that's tied it to the ignition only. So that's how that works. And then basically what it's done under here is, you can see how I've tied up the lights right behind the radiator, and then I use the wire loom here to protect the wiring. That's this stuff here, this wire loom, and basically it just splits open. You put the wire inside, it kind of protects it. Now almost all wiring under cars are in looms, just like on top. So all my wiring that I added in is in the looms inside too. All right, so in addition, I also put a head light here, so that also works with the underglow as well. It comes on at the same time, or I can use apps to control them on and off. So during the day, I don't really run them during the day, just to save on power and stuff. So underneath, now I want to show you, you'll see again the loom in between the two lights, and I've got them drilled up into the metal side of the right there. You see how it's drilled in. You got to be careful when you're drilling in them not to hit those wires, because they sit right over the hole. So you want to tape the end of that wire, so that way it doesn't cut the wire insulation. So that's how that works. And then in the back, I'll show you. All right, and then in the back, put it right under here, like so. Again, they just kind of sit under there. You lose some of the light because of this piece. That's part of the bumper, holds the bumper in, so it's okay. It still lights up though, shines through. That might be something that I might have to modify later with the bumper. But for now, the lighting is there, and all the lights, the wires run underneath here, so they get ran right around the wheel wells, and then the wiring keeps going under into the trim right there, and that's how they run on both sides. On all sides, they run that way. Same here. The wire comes down, comes up through, goes around, and then comes up into the engine bay. So that's how it works. And on it goes. There it is. I can change it any color, patterns, all kind of stuff I can do. I really like how I put it not right under, so it glows all under perfectly. So yeah, these all got mounted up with screws, as you can see. And now, then underneath, looks real good. And then the final touch is the transformer, which is really cool too. All right, so here's my the results of the underglow and the headlamp lights. I can change it all kind of colors. I can control it with the Mictuning app by going on and off. Also, we got the headlamp, which is really cool, and that goes with the LED lamp app. And again, I can on, off. Let me do it again. Off. Oops. I can change the color. Okay. Off and then on. It does the little flash and then goes to the color preset. Okay. I also preset a couple of things that I like that it can do. Kind of like the Knight Rider thing. There's one. Then you got the one where it kind of goes back and forth, and then it flicks, then goes the other way. And then I got the red one, kind of more Knight Rider-ish. Look at the underglow. Here it is.